Well, Bennett Kessler filed this following report. While many have noted the renewed spirit and customer service at June Mountain when it reopened earlier this month, others have wondered what happened to the liquor license. Currently, June Mountain offers beer and wine Friday, Saturday, and Sunday only. Mammoth Mountain Chief Administrative Officer Ron Cohen explained what happened. Now, Cohen said that typically businesses are required to surrender a liquor license if the premises is closed. Now, when June Mountain closed for the 2012-2013 season, that's what the ski area had to do. They transferred the license to the new underground lounge at the Village at Mammoth and went through the required public process to do that. Now, with the reopening of June Mountain, the Mammoth Mountain ski area applied for a new and separate liquor license for June Mountain. That process, Cohen said, is well underway. Meanwhile, California Alcohol Beverage Control did allow a series of temporary permits with limited days for June Mountain. Now, Cohen said due to a number of circumstances, the permanent license was not in place for the opening of June Mountain, but the ski area hopes to have a full liquor license in place by mid-January, according to CAO Cohen. Now, as for the reopening of June Mountain, a number of people have commented on the good vibe and help for staff. However, everyone points to what is most definitely needed: more and lots of snow. Well, reports are now out that a number of private wells in West Bishop neighborhoods have dried up. Bennett Kessler filed this report. Residents alarmed at these developments are questioning why, after 50 years in some cases, are their wells suddenly dry. At Tuesday's Inyo County Board of Supervisors meeting, Inyo Water Director Bob Harrington told board members, some of whom knew about the dry wells, what he knew about the situation. Harrington said that one of the Los Angeles Department of Water and Power's wells, number 407 in West Bishop, had been running longer than usual to supply stock water. Now, could that groundwater pump have drawn down the private wells? Harrington said he contacted DWP and plans developed to turn off the well to see if any groundwater recovery occurred in a nearby monitoring well 1,000 feet away. Harrington said it appeared the well shutoff made no difference in the groundwater table. He concluded that a lack of water recharge may have affected the water table and the wells, many of which only went down some 30 feet. Trouble is, the wells had never gone dry before. Why now? Well, Harrington and others have pointed to the fact that many water ditches and ponds in West Bishop have dried up in the past summer. Now wells are drying up. Maybe a lack of recharge led to the problems. One resident of Highland Drive in West Bishop, Denise Morrill, said she had noticed 4 or 5 wells that have gone dry on her street and that well rigs have been visible in other areas around Barlow Lane. Morrill pointed out that wells were drilled in the 1960s and now have problems. She wants to know what happened to the groundwater levels, and it's an expensive fix, up to $20,000 for a new well. Now, Morrill, like other residents, wonder why this is happening. Sierra Wave Media has contacted DWP for a response to their part in the management of Bishop Creek drainage water this past summer. Well, as wells go dry in West Bishop, one resident, Philip Anaya, has launched an effort to impact the management of the Bishop Creek drainage next summer. Bennett Kessler filed this story. Anaya read a letter to the Inyo supervisors on Tuesday that he has sent to the Los Angeles Department of Water and Power manager James Yanada. Now, Anaya's goal is recovery of South Lake and Lake Sabrina, which both nearly dried up last summer and seriously impacted businesses in that area. Now, Anaya wrote that the recovery of the lakes is, quote, held by both Edison Company and DWP, end quote. Anaya said in communications with Inyo supervisor Rick Pucci, the idea developed to do something about the lakes and the environmental and economic impacts. Now, Anaya said he knows that this winter's snowpack and spring runoff will affect the whole situation, but he hopes that management of the release of waters will also make a difference. Anaya calls for allowing the lakes to fill to the, quote, highest possible elevation and then manage releases with all the needs of the concerned entities considered, end quote. Now, the letter to DWP manager Yanada asks him to take the initiative and reach out to interested parties and to gather ideas and comments on lake management. Anaya wrote, quote, "If there could be a shared successful solution, it might become a template to resolve other issues that we spend so much time confronting each other instead of cooperatively finding solutions," end quote. Anaya planned to talk about his ideas at Thursday's Bishop Chamber of Commerce board meeting. And Bennett Kessler filed this report. With the blessing of the Mammoth Town Council, interim town manager Dan Holler has put in motion his suggestions for government reorganization. Now, Holler said he expected to wrap up updated job descriptions and recruitment brochures to hire a new public works director and a finance director for the town of Mammoth Lakes. Holler said a new building official has been hired and also a full-time code compliance person. Interviews are coming up for an assistant planner, and the manager's plans include additional clerical help for the Mammoth Town Clerk. Now, Holler said he will not use a recruitment firm to look for the new directors. He will advertise in a number of places. Holler said he is trying to reduce the number of people who report to the Public Works Director to free that person up for tasks other than managing daily operations. In the Finance Department, a finance manager will work under the Finance Director. The other major point of work in this department will be a new software program to keep track of the town's money. Holler said that this will take time to put together and also go through a competitive bid process, 6 months or more. Once a system is purchased, the town will run it in parallel with the current system to make sure things work. With the new system, Holler said officials can pull out reports to help manage the budget. Now, Holler and the town council decided not to hire a community and economic development director. The plan there is to hire consultants for economic development ideas if needed. Also on the manager's plate, a review of developer impact fees. Now, what about projecting town revenues? In the past, those predictions have frequently not matched actual money that comes in. Holler said the town could build different predictive computer models. Now, questions still remain. How conservative does the town want to be in those projections? Holler said that at a town council meeting in February, he will offer a mid-year update on revenues. And of revenue projections, Holler said, quote, "It's an art more than a science," end quote. We'll note the Mammoth Town Council is meeting tonight, and the Town Council has canceled its January 1st meeting. We'll be back with more news.